Hi, it's Sandy with s.ranellearts, and today I'm going to be making some color swatches of one of my Prima Marketing watercolor palettes. Today I'm going to be doing the Decadent Pies, and I believe this was the second one I got. So let me talk a little bit about the layout here. So you have the colors listed here, and then they give you a card that's numbered, and this one is from 25 through 36. There are 12 half pans, and the thing about this is it doesn't come with the names, so I actually had to Google the names, and because of that I only did that recently, and I didn't do it when I started, so the names and the numbers don't necessarily match. A couple of them are off, so I won't be using the numbers. I will be using the names that I got off of somebody posted. Okay, the palette has a little ring here, so you can put your finger through it and hold on to it if you were to be painting outside. And I made a little swatch card, and since it's called Decadent Pies, I wanted to make some desserts. And so here's my swatch card. So I'm going to just drop a little water in each of these. Normally I would spritz this with my spritzer, but I don't have it in front of me right now, and I was anxious to get this started. So let's wet these down and begin. All right, so what I did for this, because of the names didn't match the numbers on this particular palette, I just wrote down the names I wanted to go with each different dessert. I wanted to sort of match the colors. So my first one is a pie, and I'm using praline. So that's the second one. Again, I don't know exactly what the numbers are. So let's do, I thought that seemed like a pie shell color, and we'll go ahead and do that. And try to do it lightly. Let me get my paper towel over here, and I'll start out lighter, and then I will add a little more pigment maybe down at the bottom. So let's get a little more color in there, and let some of that bleed into the other so that we can see that. All right, so the next one I have is vanilla cream, and this color is very sweet. It's very light, and we'll start with just making the ice cream this color. All right, and then I'll bring it down to the glass here. This color, the thing I really like about this color is I use this whole Decadent Pie set a lot when I began painting portraits, and this is a very nice base color to put underneath your reds. It's not too yellow. It's gives you just a really nice color for that, and I will do a demo of portraits using this at some point. All right, have a couple of donuts here, and that one's asking for dark chocolate, and it looks brown in the palette, but it's actually kind of a red. So let me get that. I want these a lot lighter than I used normally. All right, so let's get that. And I'm going to even go a little bit lighter on the one on the bottom, even though theoretically I should go darker. Okay, a little bit down here on the cake part of the donut, and then I'm going to add a little more, oops, wrong color, hello. I'm going to add a little bit of pure, it's too wet, a little bit of pure down here at the bottom, and you can kind of see why it got the name dark chocolate, even though there's definite red there. But we'll add a little of that. Now, before I go too much further, I'm going to go back to vanilla cream and get a little bit more, and maybe make the actual ice cream a little bit darker. Seems a little opaque. We'll see how well it dries for transparency. All right, my next one is a little cupcake, and it's berry syrup. And for berry syrup, that actually is a blue, and this is just a lovely blue. I love this. So I guess when they're saying berry syrup, they're talking about blueberries. But here we go. So let's do a little light frosting right there. And go down here and do the cupcake liner. Kind of give that a wash. And then I'm going to come in and we'll make the frosting darker. And then put some little berries there. Okay. This is just, I don't know. I don't even know what this is. It's not teal. It's not aqua. It's berry syrup, but it's just a beautiful blue. All right. My next one is silver pearl. Silver pearl is kind of an interesting color. It takes a while to get it going. And you want to be careful because it can be a little, oh, it's not really opaque. It might be opaque. It's dark. But it has a little bit of an iridescence. Some of these have iridescence to them. And boy, it just kills me to paint strawberries gray, but here we go, or silver. So I will hold this up when it's dry and try to pick up the iridescence in it. I'm not sure that you can see it as I'm painting, but that definitely has some iridescence in it. And even now, if I take my little card and move it like that, you can see there's quite a few of them that have that, almost all. Excuse me. All right. The one green that's in here is pistachio, and so we'll use that for the ice cream. And I'll water that down a little bit and get a light color in there. This is very nice for foliage. It's almost an olive green, and it definitely looks more natural than some of the other greens that I have. That you could actually use this straight without mixing it with anything, and you would get you know, a decent natural looking furniture. Okay. Next is caramel, and caramel is down here, and this is another one. It's almost like a yellow ochre. It's a little opaque, and I just use this one as well for portraits. So we'll do the caramel down here, and I'm going to start with doing the whole thing nice and light, and then I'll darken up the sauce on that one and then give it some caramel sauce. All right, so I'm going to go in here and get a little of the dark and just put that on the sauce. All right, there it is. And of course, a caramel cherry, because I don't want to mix the colors. All right, let's do the next one is blueberry. And so blueberry is down here in the corner. I put it in 36. I have no idea what color it is, or what number it is, rather. I did find that a little frustrating that they didn't have the names with the palette, and I had to go look for it, and I did not look for it at the time when I got this, because I've had this palette for a while. I think it's the second or third palette I bought in general, and I didn't know to look for the names, and it didn't come with any names, so I just put them where I thought they went. Okay, so that's pretty dark there. I think I will bring that down. I'm adding some water to thin that out a little bit, because I really want the little berries on the top to be the dark part. So I'm going to go back here and get a little dark there. It's going to, a little bit's going to run, but I'm totally fine with that because I really love the effect. Okay, this is a nice blue too. I don't know, maybe blue is my favorite color. I didn't think it was, but this is just a really pretty blue, and I've used this for skies. I've used it to make black, water. I just really like that. All right, sweet jam's my next one. I put this little pudding, and sweet jam is kind of an interesting color, so let's put that one out and kind of just go for it. It's kind of a rust color, maybe. I don't know. It's a little red. It's a little rust. So we'll make that nice here. Let's do a little thin. Ooh, I can do the strawberries in red. Well, that makes me happy. All right. And then get the darker pigment. Get the little sauce. We'll do the sauce, and I'll do some of the berries in red. And call that good. All right. A couple more. This little dessert, I can't think of what it's called. I may not even really know. That one's getting rose petal. And rose petal is shimmery, very light. You really have to kind of dig in there to get some color. But it's nice. It's sweet. This is another one I use with the vanilla cream when I'm doing portraits. And it's just gives a really nice color for skin tones and all that. And the sweet jam does as well. And even the dark chocolate, depending on what you're painting. I did a whole painting from this palette. I believe, Obama. I was able to get Obama's coloring in skin tones and everything. And I really like the way it looks. Okay, I'm kind of hoping that I just used... I did not. I knew something was off. That is not the right color. So I'm going to take that off. And I go back to rose petal. I believe I went in and got one of the darker reds. So, yeah. Let's go back and get rose petal. Yeah, like I said, you kind of have to work to get this one to show up. But there it is. Okay. Good for skin tones. All right. Frosting. Frosting is another one of those white ones. Not... I was going to say not sure why they put it in. However, the nice thing about frosting is it does have some iridescence to it. So you can see I can cover this whole macaron up and lose it. I'm actually going to lift a little of that out so that I can still see. But the shimmer is really nice. And I have used the shimmer on certain things before. All right, and my last one is Frappe, and that one is, this one is another one I have used for skin tones. Very peachy. Let me water it down just a tad bit more. This one's a little bit on the opaque side, but again, I need to do a skin tone one with this palette because I kind of couldn't believe how well my skin tones came out. I didn't expect them to, and they did, and I was very pleased with that. I think I'd used this the whole time I was doing my portraiture month for World Watercolor Month. So lift a little bit out on that. Darken up my little blobs of whatever this banana split has got on there. I don't know what those are. That might be whipped cream. Who knows? All right, let me get a little bit down here at the bottom. I'm going to dry this, and then I will bring back the finished product. All right, so I let these dry, and I'm just going to move it around a little. Try not to move it too close to the camera. But if you can see, the praline is definitely iridescent. Silver pearl, you don't see it quite as much. I don't see much going on with the pistachio. Caramel, no, not so much. The rose petal is, the frosting of course is, and I know there's more, but I would say I'm going to do the Shimmering Lights palette and post that, and you'll definitely see the shimmer on that. But on these, it's a little harder to tell, and it isn't on all of them. But I would like to do a video on using this for skin tones and portraits, because they're very subtle colors, but I really like them, and I found they make a nice painting. All right, thank you for watching. Hit thumbs up if you like it, and please subscribe.